Welcome to Grace Today, a daily blog designed to encourage you and equip you with the Word of God. Let's begin. On today's episode, we're going to look at the most beautiful poem ever written. In fact, you might call it the poem of poems or the Song of Songs. It is the Song of Solomon. In fact, people call it Song of Songs as a superlative, to say it is the best song ever written. This amazing book contains wisdom for marriage. So I would say is the purpose statement for the Song of Solomon. Song of Solomon provides godly wisdom on how to honor God in marriage. Song of Solomon provides us wisdom for how to honor God in marriage. How do we break down this book? Well, the first two chapters, kind of into the beginning of chapter 3, are the courtship. And then in chapter 3, we have this great marriage, the consummation. Chapters 5 through 7 have the couple in conflict. There's a conflict between them that separates them for a time. And then chapter 8 brings reconciliation. They come back together. All throughout this book, in this poetic description of Solomon, many people believe with his first wife, you just have tremendous wisdom that can be gleaned from this. You have this affection for one another that builds one another up and encourages one another during the courtship. In fact, when I was teaching junior high, I used to point out to kids that he doesn't describe her below the neck during the courtship, but afterwards in the marriage he does. I think there's so much poetic beauty in this, but there's great wisdom for how to live encouraging one another, how to celebrate one another, to be verbally generous to one another, to come back together after conflict, to seek reconciliation. There's this great line in there in the beginning in the courtship about not awakening love before she pleases, that it provides great wisdom for us. So there's just tremendous wisdom in this book about marriage. And I think it's a book that we should celebrate, we should enjoy. We should, of course, honor the euphemism of. There's many teachers who try to strip away the euphemism of this book and make it really graphic. And I think that's just a terrible thing to do. There's great, beautiful poetry in this book, and we should recognize it as such and honor it as such. But we should also use this book to point people towards Christ. So what's the key redemptive text in this? Well, I would say be careful of analogizing it. And I know that there have been many faithful pastors who have done this in the past that make these allegorical interpretations of the book. I would say don't do that, but rather see what this is. It is a book that shows us how to honor God in our marriages. And when we, with a New Testament understanding, know that the marriage is supposed to be a reflection, an illustration on earth of Christ's love for his church, then we could take people from this book to redemption by making that connection. As we live God-honoring lives, where husbands love their wives as Christ loved the church, and wives submit to their husband. And this book is a poetic, beautiful description of a relationship that does that. When we have that kind of marriage, we give testimony to Christ's relationship with his church. And so that, in that way, really the whole book, as it shows us how to have a marriage that God intends for us to have, shows us how to have a marriage that is a testimony to Christ's love for his church. I pray this is encouraging to you. I pray that you're really enjoying going through the wisdom literature and seeing how God has really given us in his word practical wisdom for everyday life, and that it's been a great encouragement to you. I love you, Grace Community. I'm praying for you. Have a great day. Thanks for tuning in to the Grace Today vlog. For more information on Grace Community Baptist Church in Elgin, Texas, or how you can support this ministry, check out the links in the description below. See you tomorrow.